Good afternoon, I am Chester Sambrano with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. Attorneys for the families of the Paria diving tragedy, Prakash Ramada says the landmark judgment of the Privy Council on Tuesday could nullify charges brought under the Occupational Safety and Health Act, and he is calling for answers on who is responsible for not laying charges within the required 6-month period. Ramana tells Guardian Media News that it is now clear that there is a 6-month limitation, and if matters such as the Paria case are filed outside of that period, they may become nullified. Ramada says there was no prohibition against laying a charge early, even while awaiting the outcome of the Commission of Inquiry. He also raised concerns about vacancies at the OSH Authority and agency. Ramada says he wants an investigation into those who took the decision not to lay charges within the 6-month period.
At the relevant time, many voices were raised about this issue, and OSH at that time, populated by those who had the responsibility, ought to have been very sensitive to this. And we asked the question, why were not charges laid from their initial inquiry and investigation, which is separate and apart from any other Commission of Inquiry's findings?
The ruling directly affects prosecutions arising from the February 25, 2022 Paria tragedy, in which 5 LMCS divers were sucked into a 30-inch pipeline at Paria's Fuels Point-a-Pier facility. There was one survivor. The Minister of Health has ordered the closure of the Rosalac Hindu School due to a rat infestation. The decision came just hours after parents, led by the Parent-Teacher Association, staged a protest outside the Rosalac Community Center, where the school has been temporarily housed for the past 12 years, demanding its closure. In a letter to the principal, the minister confirmed that the Public Health Department inspectors spotted rat droppings in several classrooms and along the walkway. The ministry states that among the immediate actions to be taken are rat-proofing all vents, blocks through cleaning and sanitization of the premises and engaging a pest control company. As they protested this morning, parents accused the authorities of not taking the matter seriously. According to them, one resident from the community died from leptospirosis, 4 others are hospitalized, and even a nearby business has been forced to close its doors.
Why do we have to go through this to protect our kids? Since June, this problem was highlighted to the principal. Nothing was done until the Thursday before school started. Mr. Eller came down here and offered his assistance, which I am extremely grateful for, but it helped nothing. This morning, the Ministry of Health was here. This morning, I took pictures of rat droppings in the school. But still, students are being allowed to come here.
To some other news, TTOC President Diane Henderson has offered her congratulations to both Keyshawn Walcott and Jerome Richards. Henderson says the medals couldn't come at a better time and says it should spur other athletes to dig deep.
Keyshawn has been working hard and being persistent and determined about, trying for another gold throw. And we knew that he wanted it. And hence the reason, the TTOC continued to stick behind him. We all know how much Jareem is a godly man and how much he has prayed for this. And I always say, the more an athlete wants something, the person who really wants it and needs it the most will fight for it the most.
Further afield, Venezuelan troops will give weapons training to residents of low-income neighborhoods this weekend. President Nicolas Maduro says the training is a response to U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. He says troops will go into communities to teach men and women who enlisted how to handle weapon systems. Maduro called the U.S. sanctions an imperial plan for regime change, but vowed it will not succeed. Well, this has been Headline News. Look out for another news update at the top of the hour.